guys, so you may remember those really cool looking antique mirrors I had above our nightstands in the one room challenge reveal. Well, that antique finish was actually a DIY technique I used, and today I'm going to show you the steps I took so that you can recreate the same look. This process took me a few tries to get right, but I finally found a method that's pretty easy and looks authentic. There's tutorials out there that use harsh chemicals like muriatic acid, but you don't need any of that. Along with your mirror, here's what you'll need: bleach, paper towels and gloves, paint stripper, a spray bottle, dark spray paint, optional gold or copper paint, a sponge, a putty knife, and a paintbrush. I recommend trying this out on a mirror you don't care about first because it can take a few tries to get right. Okay, now that you have everything, it's time to get started. Flip your mirror over and remove the backing so that the back of the mirror is exposed. It's usually a gray color. You can remove the mirror from the frame or just leave it in. Since I was repainting my frame, I chose to remove the mirror. Now grab your paint stripper and apply it liberally over the surface. Make sure it's really thick because you don't want to do this step twice and have uneven spots. After letting it sit for the amount of time it needs per the directions, mine was about 40 minutes, take your putty knife and press down firmly on the surface, removing the gray backing. This part is super messy and requires a lot of paper towels, and you should be wearing gloves, so ignore my hands. Underneath you should see a gold layer which has the reflective mirror surface on the opposite side. Now this is the trickiest part because you don't want to remove that gold layer just yet. If you let the paint stripper set too long or push down too hard with the putty knife, it'll go through the gold layer and you'll get scratch marks, which is not what you want. But you still want to get up as much of the gray layer as you can so you have an even surface to work with. Once the gray is gone and the back of the mirror is cleaned up, it's time for the fun part. Fill your spray bottle with around 3 parts water to 1 parts bleach. Then lightly mist the back of your mirror with the mixture. You want to focus on the edges, where a mirror would naturally age over time. I completely saturated the edges with the bleach water and used a lighter mist towards the center. In some places, you may want to leave larger droplets, which will be more noticeable from the front. Let it sit there for a few minutes and turn the mirror over to monitor the progress. You should start to see dark spots from the front where the bleach water has dissolved the reflective surface. This part takes some trial and error, and every mirror will be different, but the longer you let the mixture stay on, the more aged looking it will become. Take it slow and do a little bit at a time, because you can always keep removing the reflective part, but you can never bring it back. For a more subtle effect, try lightly sponging the mixture on, focusing mostly on the edges of the mirror, and wipe it clean once you're happy with the way it looks from the front. To get a better look at your progress, hold the mirror up to a light source and you'll be able to see right through the glass where the darker aged spots will be. Continue misting and blotting until you're happy with the amount of aging. Now it's time to add our paint. For this part, you can simply spray paint the back of it black and call it a day, but I like to add some color. Gold has a really pretty look, and this copper shimmery paint from Maison Blanche gives it a realistic rust effect. Spray paint is ideal here, but brush-on paint will work too. I applied lighter coverage in some areas where I wanted to use a second color. Then I dabbed on some bronze paint to give it more dimension and depth. I was happy with those results, so I decided to skip the black spray paint. After updating my mirror frame with new gold paint, I put the mirror back in and voila! My antique mirror was complete. This is one of my favorite DIY projects because you can experiment with different colors and techniques, and it doesn't require any expensive tools or materials. Just find yourself a cheap mirror and have fun. And if you try this method or have any other tips, let me know because I'd love to hear how it turns out. If you like this tutorial, make sure to subscribe because there'll be more like it on the way. And leave a comment below to let me know which DIY project I should cover next.